just kind of a pain.
Well, we have a meeting this week, the
Yeah,
executive meeting.
so once I have minutes, then I'll get them
No,
kind of
Johnny.
sent out.
We've been
Who
finishing
does?
our basement.
Oh, the Friends of the
We've
Library,
been finishing our entire
for our
basement.
cookie
last
thing
couple
and,
months.
Yeah, once I have
in the
minutes,
making.
I'll
Kids are
include
old
them in the
enough that they
packet,
can
just
get
so
back
that
playground
the
and
Yeah.
put on there.
board is aware
We're
of
almost done.
what the friends are.
I have
One
a
little
double
tiny-
garage
Got
in
going
the
on.
basement. We never had
Yeah.
that garage up front when Bill was alive. He really loved it. He had it go in here.
Oh, yeah.
So then my family members were all known
Okay.
for that.
Looks like we're all here. I'll call to order the November 6th, 2023 Cascade Public Library meeting. Can I have an emotion to approve the agenda, please?
I'll second it.
Okay. Everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? Want to get a few seconds here to take a look at them, or?
I read them earlier.
Yes.
yeah.
I read them. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. No public comment? All aye, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Everyone say aye? Okay,
Aye.
sorry about that. I'll get this sooner or later. And no public comment. The budget reports. Anybody have any questions on any of the pages? When I was looking over page 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, on the third line, to Baker and Taylor, there's 41 total items, 11 hard copy, I imagine, books. And I wondered what all the rest of that,
Oh, what that
Just in a
says.
nutshell.
I wonder if it's paper, like trade paper or paperback. I'm not
Okay.
sure what PA would be. But I know the majority of them were new adult titles. Everyone's nuts about Rebecca Yaros now. She's the new Colleen Hoover.
okay?
So her books will go out a lot. And then there's this Twisted series by Anna Huang. And, yeah, a lot of adult titles there.
Okay. Well,
Maybe
just
a
like
few
you said,
children's.
A pretty good amount, so I wondered what,
Yep. Well,
included in that.
and what I'm generally trying to do is build a cart and leave it sit, and then I look through it a few times before I even order it. So
okay,
that way, sometimes I might say, oh, I don't think we need that, and take it out, or, oh, someone really wants this, and stick it in there. And that way, too, I'm only building the carts to so much of an amount. Baker
Okay.
and Taylor is our
Yeah,
big vendor,
major.
I would say. So then, if I hit that, then it's like, okay, then I'm gonna start a December cart.
okay.
So that's kind of how I've been going at it. But they're, I mean, obviously, that order's submitted, future orders aren't submitted, they're just sitting there.
Okay.
So. And I think it might be easier for Kathy if they, I know in the past, I think when Danielle was there, I had been asked to kind of try to, you know,
Mhm, sure,
not have
Accumulate.
like 20 bills from Baker and Taylor to do
Right.
one big order as opposed to
that
little
makes sense.
ones.
Then DVDs, that's the 10 new items.
Yep, and it's been a while since we ordered DVDs. I'm not
Okay.
even sure when the last order would have been. I wonder if it's in here in future pages, or if I'd have to go back. I bet it's been a couple months.
Okay.
So,
Well, I know
we're not accumulating very many
Yeah.
DVDs. I'm really focusing on getting the ones that are hot. So like we have The Whale, we have the new Barbie movie finally.
How much are those taken out? I think we need to be prepared, because that number is going to be questioned, that 205. So how often and why do we pick those particular ones? How many people really need it that don't have any access to it any other way?
Yeah, I mean, definitely circulation has decreased, but, let's see, let's take a
And do
peek
we
at
have
circ
DVD?
stats. I think our circ stats show that we're sticking around, well, it has gone down. I mean, it was over 200 or 300, and it has decreased. And I have decreased DVD orders over time, just because we don't have as many checkouts. So,
Yeah, I know you're keeping an
Yeah.
eye on it.
yeah, I mean,
Appreciate
we're,
that.
we're
Just-
always,
Yeah.
you know, watching, and I know Monica and I had a discussion about audiobooks, that we don't have many checking out on CD anymore. They're streaming on a tablet or a
Right.
phone. So that's something that, you know, over time, we will no longer be getting. You know, there's
A lot of the
conversation
cars
on my
wanted to take them.
listservs
Yeah.
about that, you know, that audiobooks are, we still have an older population that listens to them, that does not want to do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, we'll continue to
Yeah.
serve those people the best we can, but I think
And I don't
over
mean to be
time
picky,
it'll-
but I just know that,
No,
you
no,
know.
no, I know.
um,
No, I know, and I think I've been very cautious
Mm-hmm.
with the DVDs. I can't, how about, let me generate a report on that for our
Okay.
Yeah,
next
just
meeting, and we
kind
can
of what
look
you're
at
saying,
it.
too,
Yeah.
that it shows that we're really
Right.
on top
Yeah.
of
Right.
what's happening.
Then
Yeah.
that
It's
one
always good to
book,
be proactive.
Yeah, and I do see our numbers are trending down on DVD checkouts, so,
Is there a way you could run that report back to this time last year to see if that's kind of like a trend? Like, I know in the summertime, and at one point, it was like at 300 or so. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
are pretty,
yeah,
I know we get 2 or 3 of a time we go, and I mean, it's, there's probably 5, 10 a day that go out. So I think it's always a number we looked at. And,
yeah. I mean, I think, yes, we have people that still use them. I do think it might be a smaller number than did because of streaming, so. Yeah, I mean, it's always good, especially if we see increasing trends in Hoopla and
Right.
that kind of thing, that, you know, the money comes from somewhere that isn't
Right.
as used, so.
Yeah, I think you haven't gotten new ones recently, like you say, if you put something in, when you put your thing in the paper, say what movies are in, that
Oh.
could probably.
Yeah,
pick
that's a
up
good
too.
idea.
Yeah,
Just
we can
say-
do that.
and once they see the newer ones
Yeah.
are in, because it's been a while since you've done it, I've noticed that,
Right.
because I do get them on occasion too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah, and on Facebook and paper. Yeah, you're right.
That's a good idea.
We can do that with the books too, some of the,
Sure.
you know, there's a new John Grisham one there.
Oh,
It'll be gone by the time the meeting's over, right?
Even in big print.
It is
yeah.
in big
Oh,
print.
how about that?
and on page 2, the second from the bottom, the president's wife and senator's wife, one book for $59.18, is that correct? Page 2,
Page 2.
this right here.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
see it, okay. Oh, it's 2 books.
Two books.
Those are 2 separate books, totaled 59.18.
These, the
Right.
100, okay.
The president's
Okay.
wife, I think, is about Theodore Roosevelt's wife, maybe, and then the senator's wife is a suspense, modern-day suspense by.
Okay, I see. I thought that was one
Liv
title.
Constantine.
Okay,
Nope, 2 different titles.
all right. All right.
And then we've got our Junior Library Guild renewal in there.
Is that annual?
Yeah.
It is an annual, but when we break it down by title, it's a little pricey because we get 2 to 3, sometimes 3 a month. So if you divide that out, let's say 24 to 30, it winds up being, if it was 30, about $18 a title. So I think in the future to discontinue that subscription.
Okay.
It's not sustainable. The books are cheaper through Baker and
Yeah.
Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
That'll cut that much out of our budget.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
When is that one up?
Well, we just renewed, so we have titles coming now until probably August, they'll be hitting me up again, so I put a note in my spreadsheet of subscriptions to discontinue, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else in those reports?
I
Expense
imagine
reports?
the 298 for candy was because the 190, 158.
Yeah,
It's
trunk
for
or treat,
Halloween.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, and we did, we had scavenger hunts throughout the month in the library, which the kids really liked. We had
That
98
was kind of-
participants.
Yeah, that would look like it was really fun.
Yeah, and it was easy to put together, so.
Yeah.
It,
that-
it
that
was a fun thing. We had a
yeah,
little
it's good.
guy, probably about 3, and he came in the one day, maybe 2. And then Mom brought him in the next day. Can you do it again? He doesn't have to have a treat. Have a treat. He's not going to remember what it said. You know, the older
Yeah.
kids know because they
Yeah.
would know.
Yeah.
But when they're little like that, it's like, well, it's kind of like brand new to
Yeah,
them. so.
I saw them running around getting it. It was good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. Library to serve, what page?
Oh, I wonder if I
don't think that's in here.
Oh,
Is
it's,
it?
keep turning. It'll come after, oh, it might come after your bills. I might have got things out of order.
Okay,
There it is.
okay.
What are you looking for?
Yep, if you keep going, go past the, okay, so after the highlighted page, I think that's where the,
Oh, okay.
I got a couple out of order
Gotcha,
there.
gotcha.
So, yeah, I guess that's. Did you find it, Mother?
It's good that we got a
We
couple,
didn't. What page?
couple gifts into it.
If you go, keep going, go past that page, it's there. It's the
Oh.
Community Foundation.
7. Well, you got to page 7 and putting the 9, and they gave up.
Oh, turn past that one. It just got out of order. That's
Oh.
the,
Oh, I
that
see.
one isn't generated by the city, so it looks different than the city reports. But that's the foundation report.
Okay,
Got a couple entries in it, that's good. A couple donations.
yeah, they're older donations, so,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that might stay
Right.
on there for a little while.
yeah. Okay. Any questions? We'll look at the bills then.
I make a motion to approve the bills for payment.
Okay. And I somehow missed giving you a bottom total, so at the bottom of that yellow, if you want to write 13,382, that's what we should have remaining after December. So the ones in yellow are anticipated December bills. If we divide 13,382 out into the 6 remaining months, it comes out to like 2,300 a month, so, in the book budget.
So you said 13.
382 and some odd change. And of course, the hoopla is a guess, so.
Yeah.
Based on the trend, we usually are trending around 300 on hoopla right now.
Do we have a second on paying the bills, second motion? Did somebody second it?
I don't think they did.
I'll second.
Okay. Everyone say aye?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, circulation statistics.
Which might come after your foundation report.
We got them. That's all that counts.
It's there. Sorry.
I always, when I do the events calendar, I always make everyone look twice because I say numbers are my kryptonite. Dates especially.
That's what the problem is. Yeah, we all have those areas of kryptonite.
All right, so Circ stats have had a nice jump up from September to October. We usually do. I think in September, people are getting back into the school routine, and so we always slump a little. Door count, we were just 10 away from my happy place, so. November.
Is good.
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens in November. But with Small Business Saturday and the Friends Cookie sales, that could bring
Right,
in
that
some
should
good
bring it up.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that Dubuque County was 336, and Jones County was 472.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty, I was surprised at that too.
Yeah.
A little segment of towns at the library up a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Jackson even had a good number of
Yeah.
Yes,
checkouts.
yeah.
They do.
Mhm. Nice to be popular.
It is. It's always good to be popular. Delaware County's a little far for us, I guess, or at least this month it must have been. And I think we only have 2 cards in Lynn and Johnson counties, and that's through the open access. When Sam Helmrich, the president of the Iowa Library Association, was visiting our library, that was when the bookmark crafts were going on. She wanted a card, so we made her cards, so.
Good.
So I had to, I thought, well, Lynn and Johnson, we're not going to have a lot of card holders. We'll kind of let them share a line.
Okay, so that's good. Moving on to old business and future building project reports. Well, we know the bids are due in again this week.
This week,
Mhm. They'll be going out this week, and they're due in, I think, the 30th, isn't it,
Yes,
Marie?
the 30th.
Yeah,
November 30th.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a shorter time this
Goes
time.
before the board and hope to have somebody nominated, accepted by the end of the year.
what's the general vibe or level of optimism this time around? Pretty,
Mike is pretty positive about it,
Positive,
Mike Beck is. Yeah. We've taken, more than $1 million off of the,
yeah.
Yeah.
so it's still going to be a beautiful building. It's just going to be a different look,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
still going to be, I think one of the big advantages of it is we're going to have attic space on the first floor,
Right.
where before we didn't.
So,
We had to
okay.
climb a
Yeah, it just
crazy
would not
ladder to
have-
get up
yeah.
to an attic. That's
Two
because
sets
we're not
even,
having
yeah.
geothermal
Yeah.
Okay.
and having furnaces instead, so.
And additional space in that area because the air conditioning units will go on the roof
Okay.
instead of in that unit. And then there's another big generator that didn't need to be anymore because of how we were going to redo the stuff, so.
And the Cascade Utilities has agreed to pay for the new exterior light poles, correct,
Oh, wow.
Marie?
On Pierce,
Yeah, and I think there's
Okay.
7 of those, isn't there?
Yes.
They're working with a different vendor to get the initial cost down, so
Right.
that'll save, quite a bit of money.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
and the widening of the street on Pierce is going to be taken over by the city in another budget
Oh.
instead of,
And I believe running the conduit out to the corner, we're not going to be putting up the sign for the library right away, but that'll go up down the future, but they're going to run all the things that's needed out there, so it'll be exciting in
Right.
the end of November, so.
in fact, they do have those light poles and that widening is an alternate or an additional that they could vote on to see what the best thing is, so. But we'll be good either way.
Yeah.
Michael, Gail, and Kevin Epperly, were the only 2 at the last meeting that we
Yes.
had? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, anyway, it's moving along. Okay, Friends of the Library update.
Yes, there is going to be an executive meeting again this week. In fact, it's tomorrow night, Wednesday night.
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday night, to talk about the cookie walk, where basically she's getting shells, plastic shells, and then you just pick the kinds of cookies that you want. So they'll be sold in that manner. And
What
we'll-
time's that meeting, Marie?
I don't remember. I think
all right.
it's like 6 o'clock or
Okay.
so. It's
Yeah,
the
6.
executive
Oh,
committee.
executive meeting.
Yeah, it isn't the whole
Oh,
board.
gotcha.
And one of the things that came up as a question was the Board of Trustees and their relationship with the library and with our with our board. And certainly in the answers that we got from the state, thank you, Melissa, for doing that, is that they encourage every member of the board, our board, to be a member of the Friends of the Library and to be as involved as you possibly can. Not to hold an office, but to be involved in any of the activities. The persons who work in the library, because it is not routine library work, are available to volunteer to work in Friends of the Library.
But if they attend as
Right,
staff
if they are
members, they're
assigned,
paid
if they are assigned
during that
to
time.
come, not, and mandated to come, then they are paid because they're a part of the library and a representative of the library. It
Are
does,
they members of the Friends
yeah.
Any-
Library people are
that work
friends of
in
the.
the library? Didn't it
Yes.
used to be that way, so that's good.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can, but it's limited, like, I
You only
can't hold an office.
You can't hold an office. And they can be, and in fact, this says that if they are employee, but not the librarian or the library manager, they can also hold an office, is what the state says. It also, and I think that clears up stuff, it does allow for us to be more hands-on at the time that they're setting it up,
Sorry, that was me.
that even if they needed to work as a member, you know, setting it up and being one of the board members. However, once we've gotten this set up, I'm hoping that in January, they will clarify in the bylaws that Melissa and I are people that are going to be on the executive board but do not have voting rights.
Okay.
And I think that that's been something that it's not stated in there. And so I think during the time that they were reorganizing, it was good that we have an ability to do it. But now we've got some people in that will follow the regulations, and that isn't necessary anymore. So I'm excited about that
This is
coming
good
up
info.
in January. So January will be the full meeting. I'm hoping that we will send out notices to people that didn't get a chance to sign up to make cookies or to bring little, not scotchies, what do you call those things?
Scotcheroos.
You know, little things
Favors.
that you can do, that will give them an opportunity to, and that's on November 25th, on a
Yep.
Saturday. So I'm excited about it. They're working hard. That's all.
Yeah, thank you.
And the Friends are coming up with a new logo also.
Yes.
There's going to be 3 choices, and the members of the Friends of the Library are going to be able to vote on the final choice that they want.
And they want to kind of coordinate it so those things that are the library, the city, the, everything kind of flows in, and yet you recognize that this is a separate entity.
And it sounded, from what Mariah told me, that the Cascade Customs is doing
Yeah.
a lot of work on the
Right,
logos,
so that-
just to make sure that they print
Right, so
nicely
that we
on
could then use
shirts
it.
or whatever.
Use it to
Yeah.
do shirts and
Oh, cool.
bookmarks and things like that. So I think that that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
They're laying a really good foundation.
Does
They
the Friends
did-
have like their own, like, social media page or Facebook page?
Yes,
Is there a
yes.
Facebook?
That's a good
There
point.
is, and
The Cascade Public Library, Friends of the Cascade
Okay.
Public Library.
right,
Join
because
that.
there is a Cascade
There is a Cascade Library,
in,
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure it's like,
I'm not sure what
Or
state
Washington or
it is,
something.
Oregon, I think, or Washington, someplace out.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
tons of them.
Yeah.
We
so
get phone calls.
Anyway,
for-
yes, there is, and there will be more and more
Updates and stuff on
activity
that.
on
Yep.
that. Yeah.
But there was a nice turnout at the Friends meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really
That's good.
was.
Good.
Yeah, they're working hard.
Mhm.
Applaud them.
Okay, anything under other? Anybody want to bring up? Mm-mm. Okay, let's move on to new business. Programming, upcoming events, and the librarian's calendar.
Get to it. Okay, so we're closed the 23rd and 24th. Cheryl president of the Friends and I have spoken about the possible need for cookies and things like that to be dropped off on that Friday. We do have a spare key that I've made available to Pat in the past for setup for different things, so I will give Cheryl that spare key beforehand so that they have access to get in the library and kind of do some day before setup things.
Okay.
What day is that?
That's Friday, the 24th. The library won't be open. It'll just be,
November 24th?
yeah, that the Friends will have access to get cookies and things like that dropped off. So, so yeah, that's kind of the
I'll
plan
remember
there.
that. I said I'd cook for Amy too.
Cook away.
She's on her trip now.
Tuesday morning coffees all month. The dates are listed, time 9:30 in the morning. Anyone is welcome. Wednesday after-school crafts this month are the 8th and the 22nd, 2 to 6 p.m.
I was gonna say some of that, Melissa, the kids are not in school on that 22nd,
Yeah.
on that Wednesday, and like, teachers are that Monday and Tuesday, but they're off all that week. I was just wondering, not to be too late or something, if it would maybe be wise, maybe try to schedule something during the day on that Monday or Tuesday for kids. I know we're gonna be home with the
It's not
babysitter,
too
we're gonna
late. We
give
wind
some
up adding
explicit
things
orders, go to
once
the
in a
library
while.
and do something, you
Yeah,
know, it's,
yeah.
I don't wanna put more on your plate or anything, but.
Nope, nope.
Because I imagine that
I've got
Wednesday.
an idea.
Wednesday's
I
already
have
on the
some
parade,
ideas,
isn't it?
so-
Yeah, they're all, kids are off the
Yeah.
entire week.
Because
Yeah.
Aqua is
They
off
need-
that week, too.
Yeah, so that, I'm just thinking that
That's a
Wednesday,
good point.
kind of late, coming on, like, people are going out of town on that Wednesday and stuff.
Yeah.
You might not get any kids that late, because they're already off school anyway, you know, so. yeah, Just something to think about that.
Yeah, no,
Could be prime
that's-
opportunity to get some kids in the library on that
Yeah,
Monday or
and
Tuesday. if you
I
wanted to.
already have a few things that
Okay.
kind of came up after
Yeah.
this calendar. It seems like I get the calendar done and posted, and it's, you know, we're into November, and then it's like, oh, we could do this, we could do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, okay, we can do it. Yeah, we'll get something added. I'm sure,
And not to add more to,
no, not at
Good
all.
month,
I
but-
know, well, for example, Ally will be off
yeah,
school
should have
too,
just said the
so
kids
she
will be, I
can.
mean, it might be
she
a
can
lot of kids at
assist with some of
babysitters'
that.
houses that need something to do for an hour or so.
Assuming she's not tied up babysitting somebody, but I'm sure one of those
Yeah.
days might work for her, so. I will talk to her when I head back over in a bit. Friday morning story times, the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, 9:30. Although technically, we don't really start till 9:45. It gives the kids a chance to play and settle in and us to adjust if we have more kids than we made craft for. Usually 8 is the right number, but you never know. Reading with Chip and Ed is this week, the 9th at 5:30 PM. Lot of enthusiasm I've heard at the desk. They've taken my little slips. My morning story time kids, sounds like a bunch of them are gonna be coming too. So I'm kind of planning to have some kind of craft available to do that night too, just in case the group is too big and we need to like split them up. So we're gonna see how that goes and develop it from there and have them back more and
Do you think it's, and why did you choose the 5:30 slot time?
I mean, in the past, we've done some evening story times. It's been a while, but I know we did like a pajama party one time where my little friends brought animals and they slept in a pack and play at the library for the night. The stuffed animals did.
Oh,
So
Cute.
I was gonna say.
no, the little stuffed animal friends spent the night. No one else did.
That'd be a fun yearly thing almost, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, we could do it again. I know we did a Polar Express activity one time at night. You know, it's just been a while since we've offered an evening story time. It's
It'll be
nice
interesting
to.
because it's so dark. It's just getting used to the fact
Yeah.
that
Oh, I know.
it's so dark all morning. It's so dark at night.
You know,
Time
and,
change, did it?
Oh, man.
I mean, we always,
Let's see, it's not,
I think that
dark yet, huh?
my feeling toward a lot of activities is, especially if it's something new, we're gonna try this, we're gonna
Yeah.
see how it goes. If we need to make adjustments, we do that. You know, it's kind of like summer reading. Every year we look at it and say, okay, what worked, what didn't, let's change this. And so.
Well, Chip might have a hard time settling down afterwards.
Ed brought him in today already to check things out.
Yeah, I saw
And
him
I
on the
told
trail.
him if he wanted to bring him in again Thursday ahead of time, just to, just to.
Get used to the surroundings.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure. It'll depend on turnout. If we have a lot, then, yeah, and tables around and stuff. So, well, it'll work. It'll get figured out. I'm not worried about it. So.
Okay.
We always make it work, so. And like I said, I think we'll have some kind of simple activity. Maybe just even like folded paper where they could make a thank you card to Chip or
Oh, that's
something
nice. Yeah.
while
Sure.
they're waiting or
Do you have
after.
a date scheduled to change the storyboard, the
Ally and I
story
are gonna try to do it tomorrow.
log? Oh, okay, because I was going to say, I'd put a range if I have enough time to.
Yeah, Ally and I are gonna try to do it
Oh,
tomorrow
okay.
when she gets out of school because Jane will be there as
Yeah.
well, so it's kind of a,
Ready for the pumpkins to be gone.
yeah, and
huh?
it's supposed to be decent weather tomorrow. And I
What's
said,
the
"Ally,
next one?
I know an old lady who swallowed a pie.
Oh, that sounds
like
cute.
that one.
That sounds cute.
It's one of my favorite Thanksgiving stories. I kind of hate to put it out there because then I feel like I can't read it to anyone, but
Oh, I bet you can.
I might still. There's not a ton of Thanksgiving stories. In fact,
Yeah.
Doris and I were talking about that today when she said they're a hard thing to
Yeah.
get. Saturday, November 25th, Friends of the Library Cookie Walk. When I spoke with Cheryl today, she thought it would be 9 to noon.
9 to 2.
But certainly if they wanted the library for longer, that would work too. And we'll know more after the executive meeting on
And how many
Wednesday.
cookies we have left.
That's right.
Well, yeah, once you're sold out, you're sold out.
That's
So,
true.
Book discussion is Thursday, November 30th. That's for adults, and the title is one by Nicole Bart. It's a suspense story,
I know.
everything.
You've always been mine.
You've always been mine. It's about a child that's
And I have
adopted.
to work that day. Still reading the book, but I have to work that day.
It's about a child that was adopted, and the mother and father have split, and someone broke into the mother's house, and yeah, there's some
Yeah,
suspense and drama
yeah.
there. So I still have copies available if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
Large and regular print. And it's Dino-vember this month. I ordered some dinosaurs, and they came, and they were about this big, and they weren't really what I wanted, so Becky's making a craft with them. But I did order some more that are supposed to be a little bit bigger, and another library had this, and I thought this would be fun to do. Little adoption certificates. So if the kid finds a dinosaur, then we give them a little adoption certificate, and they can name the dinosaur and take them home. They weren't that much.
I think that reminds me, a couple of years ago when we went over to Springfield Library, when we were starting all this project again to build a new library, they had a huge display of all these dinosaurs that were just humongous hanging from the ceiling. They were so excited about that,
Yeah.
you know, they were
I love
something
them.
we can think about in our future.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, what else? I brought something in mind. We've,
I'm sorry if I interrupted your
no,
thoughts.
no.
It'll come to you.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. Kids Book Club, I'm gonna give them until maybe the first couple weeks in December, and then we'll take some time off till after the holidays, because it's busy time for kids too. For the kids, adult kid book club.
Oh, okay.
I have a book, Mr. Lemoncello's Library, that I'm gonna give them, but I'm giving them a longer span. So there isn't a date scheduled in November for that. It'll just give them a little longer with the book, and then we won't do another one until after the holidays. And Ally was talking to me about Teen Book Club tonight. She has trouble getting a lot of the teens to show up, or some of them read it, some of them don't. She has one that she thinks just shows up for the snacks and doesn't read the book. And I told her it's okay to take a couple months off and just check in with everyone in January and see, where we're at. I mean, I said it might be easier to attract 7th, eighth graders than the older kids, so. And she didn't really want to target sixth graders because she was concerned about the content in some of the books, which I could see. That, you know, it depends on the kid and the parent and what they are okay with and not okay with, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you go to any continuing ed this month?
ILA, and I went directly from that to vacation, and I didn't have a
Yeah.
chance to write it up
Yeah.
yet. One of the sessions I attended was about the seed libraries. So I know Monica and I talked briefly about this, but I think it'd be an interesting partnership for the library and the garden club to do. And you can get these seeds anywhere. And a lot of times they can just take up like a couple small boxes that we could just set out. People can come in, get the seeds that they would like to try to plant and plant them. So
I think you get a
we
lot of
do
interest in
have
that,
to
yeah.
get a license from the Department of Agriculture. So I'll be applying for that.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be a relatively simple process. So that was one thing I attended at ILA.
Animals, I can't remember what they had to hold their seed packets. It was something that they had a reuse for. I can't remember what
Well,
they call them and ask.
I got these small plastic containers I was thinking
We
to
could
use for
index
something
them?
else. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
something like that.
Separate them by like fruits and vegetables and flowers so that people know what they're
Weeds.
getting.
Kohlrabi.
And then one of the things they said was you want to limit like how much of a seed that you have, you
Yeah.
know, so don't have 20 packets
Yeah.
of something, or, you know, try to have a nice assortment. And how long do you keep them? And if they're donated, a lot of them, they would separate those, because if they're donated, it might not be exactly what, you know, because they cross-pollinate sometimes, so you might get a little bit different, you know, if someone
Well,
had
even
it at
if
home.
it's their own seeds.
Yeah, yeah.
The application process, that's something that you have to submit, or at least have to submit?
I have to submit it.
Okay.
And it's, from what they said, it's pretty
Yeah,
basic.
Pretty straightforward.
It's not anything to get too excited about. So then we'll be looking for seed donations, so. But I think, they made it sound like it's not too hard to find donors for that kind of thing, so. Some of the places that sell seeds, sometimes when they're getting rid of stuff, will be happy to give you.
Seeds come out in February, do they, I think? March?
Pretty early.
What's the question?
When the
yeah.
seeds,
Huh?
new seeds, when
Yeah.
do the new seeds packets come out in the stores?
Right about February, March, so they can start
Yeah.
getting ready to
Planning.
plant.
Some places still have them out.
Probably.
Dollar store. I think you can pick
Get
them
rid
up
of 'em.
now.
All right, well, then
They have real good stuff at the stores that's already grown.
that just tells me I want to have my application in,
Right.
Yeah.
probably December.
So I'd say the sooner the,
And then, one that I went to was about Bean Stack, which is a program, it's kind of pricey though, and it tracks kids' readings and they can get little badges and awards, but they said you wouldn't have to do it that way. They thought you could probably create your own with Excel or something like
Yeah.
that. So, I don't know, it's just to promote reading, you know, which of course we always try to do. Kind of interesting, you know, one of the things that they were doing with it was providing kits to families each month, because there are kids that don't have a lot of books in their homes, you know, but the people that did this did come from a larger urban area too, so, but what they did was, a family could get a kit and it would have maybe a craft activity in it and a book, and they got to keep all of that. I mean, it could be kind of a pricey thing too,
Yeah.
depending on how many you had
Yeah.
sign up. And it was more than one kit. If they signed up, they could do like 10 kits a family or
We
something
could
like
limit
that.
it or
So,
something, yeah.
yeah, so
Something to look
kind
at.
of interesting, something to keep looking at, figure out funding. I know, Marie, you had asked me about the Dolly Parton Library. And,
And apparently, different locations, because of their poverty levels, are chosen directly, but otherwise, then you have to have somebody sponsor it for you. So basically, you know, you're buying books
Yeah.
to give, and it has to be based on all of the children.
0 to 5.
0 to 5. So, you know, it could be quite costly. You can identify how big your range is, but still it needs to be inclusive of all of those persons. So right now, it would not be something that we could do.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be pretty
Yeah.
expensive for us. And
Yeah.
I think the Bean Stack program is
Yeah.
similar
Mhm.
to that. It would be expensive for us. And then one of the sessions I attended was done by Scott Peterson from the State Library. It was what to do with that old jail cell in your basement. And it was mainly, so the consultants wind up going to all these different libraries, and sometimes they have some really old things that they don't know what to do with because no one wants to throw anything away. So he said there was one library that actually had an old jail cell in their basement, and they wanted to use it for Halloween or something like that, but he said, you know, it was really small and tight and horrible to get down the stairs too, and he said, I discouraged them from doing that, so kind of interesting to hear what some libraries wind up inheriting.
Well,
We don't have anything like that.
oh, good. Okay.
I mean, we don't have
It
basements.
goes through my
Yeah.
attic.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, and then the last session on Friday was, I would almost call it a therapeutic session. It was done by a lady that wrote a book. And I believe she's identified as having ADHD, and she said that she couldn't clean her house right because she'd see something and she'd start doing that, and then she'd see something else and she'd start doing that. And when she had young kids, COVID came along, and her husband was a new attorney, and he had to be at work all the time. And she just said, I could never get my dishes done. And she put a post out there, and people just attacked her for it. Like, what kind of mother are you? Why are you living like this? And so she wrote this book about how, you know, it's not enough to say, oh, well, you just have to do this, that, and the other thing, and then you can do that. She said, it doesn't work that way. I don't have the skill developed to do this. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was just, there were a lot of people in the room kind of tearing up a little bit, so. So I think they were relating in some way to, you know.
It's still brain health that
Right,
needs to be
right.
addressed, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that it, Melissa?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We'll take a look at the bylaws, an update. Thinking about changing the library board meeting to the second Tuesday of the month to accommodate Kathy and getting our packet ready, because, you know, our meeting could be on the 1st or the 2nd of the month, or the 31st, and, you know, it's a rush for her to get the
it's
packet ready for us then.
Down in that last paragraph is where the change
Right.
is on this. It's in red.
That's the only
It's the only
is to
change.
change it.
Yep.
Is that something
And I
we vote
think-
on tonight and like
Right.
act immediately,
Yes.
you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Unless
And I think
everyone
the-
needs time to
The
look
other
at it
thing
and make
is
sure it
that she
works.
doesn't get all of the billings in, so that our month to month is kind of skewed because of that. So
Right.
that would be corrected by going to the second Tuesday instead of the first.
So we'd like to have a motion to change the monthly meeting to the second Tuesday of the month, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. The next
Makes
item
sense.
is ideas.
Oh, internet use policy
Oh,
is on.
I'm sorry, okay. I like to.
And the only change on that is highlighted on the back of the policy. It just says, I think it said, well, there was a time we didn't, or the policy said we didn't allow food and drink in the library at all. I just altered this a little bit to say at the computer, due to damage it could cause the equipment. So that's the only change to that.
Yeah, they really don't need it around the computers, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's little tables behind the computers. We've always encouraged people to set drinks on those or whatever if they need to, so. Otherwise, I looked through it pretty carefully because it had been a while since we looked at this one.
And Melissa and I did talk this afternoon, on the first page, Article 4, the President and Secretary of the Board of Trustees shall serve a term of 1 fiscal year, July 1st to June 30th. Officers may be reelected. That's,
Oh, that's in the bylaws.
oh,
You're not a-
where are
It's
we
every
at?
3 years.
Oh, I'm,
That's not on the
that's-
Oh, yes, every year,
we're on the,
yeah.
You weren't done, did you have something to bring up on the bylaws?
I think that Article 4, the officers.
Yeah.
Because you went back to that, I thought we were on the internet use policy.
we were, I'm sorry, I thought we were done with that.
But you're right to bring that up.
Yeah.
I think when Kathy Weber was president, she did have us do that on occasion. Like, I seem to remember doing it once at least where we, you know, the officers said they would continue to serve and everyone kind of moved along. So I guess it's something to remember to do each year if
Because
people
we did
want to
it this
continue
year.
to serve
Yeah.
or if they want
Yeah.
a break, or if
That's
someone
what we
else
do.
wants to serve, or whatever, so. Something to remember to do.
Well, and that's when the ones that with the 3-year that's staggered come up too, so it's a good reminder.
Yeah,
Tag them.
yeah.
So how will you remember that? Because I won't.
Okay, I made a motion, and it wasn't seconded or approved, was it?
It doesn't
You
have,
seconded?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
the
Uh-huh.
the
On the-
internet one?
Or saying
Yeah.
approved,
Yeah,
all approved or anything?
Or was that the
right, she did.
bylaws?
Yeah, that was on the bylaws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to make sure.
And
Mine
with
goes
the
to
internet,
the
I
best.
I make a motion that we accept the change of, at the computer, they have no food or drink.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. That it?
Decorating.
All right. Anybody have any ideas on decorating the outside of the library for the Christmas season?
I know Cheryl approached me this morning and said that she had this snowman that has a stake on it that she could put out there and some greenery, and then it could stay up through the Christmas, through winter, because it's not exclusive to Christmas, which is always a good idea to kind of do something that can last longer than a month. So,
She's willing to,
yep, yep.
And the ones that are done in the street are beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah,
just
they're very
wish-
nice.
So she can have that job if she wants.
So, yeah, she's willing to, if that's okay with the board.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I will let her
Willing
know that.
volunteer is a good thing. It's out of my realm.
So,
Decorations,
I don't do
yeah.
anymore.
yeah, I don't even know any trees. I did make a
Yeah,
wreath.
it's,
I put a wreath
I
on
mean,
the
it's such a
door.
long box.
And it doesn't
We,
have,
we
she
have
got
some you could have, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
greens?
No.
No.
Just
decorations.
Decorations.
Santa, whatever, you know, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
we're having our Christmas down in Des Moines, so nobody's coming, you know, so. Debbie likes putting it up though, she might not be, she may not second that,
You might want to check with,
but, yeah.
Yeah.
Check with the boss.
Powers to be.
But I'd be fine if it was down there, it's in our yard.
yeah. Then if you,
It's only like a Santa, and there's a Frosty.
That's
yeah, if
perfect.
she agrees to that, would you mind calling Cheryl and let her know?
Cheryl Wright.
Cheryl Ryder, yeah.
I'll see what she says.
Okay,
whatever.
yeah. And if
Yeah.
not-
Maybe your wife would like to put it up at the library.
Yeah. I know who will put it up.
For opening your mouth, huh?
Well, it's that division of labor thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
We have that at my house too. That's
Okay.
why I don't have to deal with the leaves in the front yard every time.
Second
Is
Tuesday
there
now.
an outside receptacle?
No,
Okay, because one of them.
Oh, yeah, we don't have an outside outlet at all.
Oh, they have hopes.
What can I do?
but there will be,
I've been
Honey,
researching,
on the new
what do you know,
library.
and I can't lift
Yeah.
these things. We just put this
Already
here,
thought
put
about
that, and
It's always been
They're not in yet.
sad that we don't have an outside.
Down there.
sit on our system.
What's our next
It was
meeting?
an artist, and it was Germany.
Oh, yeah.
They got rid
of the calendars.
Oh.
All right,
And
anything else anybody wants to?
What's the second Tuesday?
It's the 12th.
The 12th?
Yep.
That's worth
December 12th?
a little bit. I said, what else? I said, yours might
At
look
4:30,
less.
right?
Fire weight.
Don't
That's
get out.
That's, I know we went through that last time.
Yeah.
December
12th,
12th.
December 12th, okay.
And that would be the
Oh,
second
I like my
Tuesday.
Okay, what are you coming up with?
December 12th.
All right, I'll have a motion here to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And at 4:30,
Motion adjourned.
What time is it?
5:20.
December 12th.
We got 5 minutes.
Oh,
5:19?
End of the year.
I hope it's weather like today.
I'm gonna put five.
Yeah.
Conspicuously like the library board, where's the park board? Aren't they supposed to be meeting here at 5 o'clock?
Not today.
Kathy didn't
Oh,
say anything.
I think that they have Wednesday.
Yeah,
Because of
elections.
elections, I think
Elections tomorrow.
they
We
had
moved
Wednesday,
all
so we had to take Monday.
We moved from
We moved,
Tuesday
yeah.
to today because of the election tomorrow. You've
Yeah.
heard of the election, right?
Yeah,
You're aware of it?
You know anybody
She's
else?
vaguely aware.
vaguely
And
aware.
But they didn't, I mean, that wasn't, when I looked on the city website, that wasn't what was there.
Oh.
May not have got changed.
If you're like me, Cindy, it's
Well, I'm not positive, I'm not positive.
Yeah,
I knew-
I
I
think
knew
that
when it
that's.
I think
Was
that,
somebody coming
because
at
we
5:30?
talked
Yeah,
I
about
just
doing
wondered, but if you
Wednesday.
change it, this is what the city changed.
Right.
They should.
Wondered what you were up to,
Yeah,
shall we?
who changes the?
The website?
Yeah. Do I have to put,
Oh, these are.
do I
the-
do I have to put President Board of Trustees in? I just sign my name.
It's there, President.
Are you walking?
My car's up at Lehman's.
Uh-oh.
No, it's very light, the street lights are good.
No, you said it was at Lehman's. Does that mean there's a,
No, I got 4 new tires.
You need a ride up, I'm going that way.
Okay, see you guys. Okay.
I said,
Good.
that's good.
Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
guys.
We'll see ya.
Waivers in
Yeah, good to see
Key
you.
West, huh?
everyone have a happy Thanksgiving if we don't see
golfing,
you.
he said he couldn't make it. And so then I didn't know Mark,
They can't believe the weather we're having.
yeah, I didn't know Jake was with him too, so then I called Jake, he said, why was Weaver? I said, why don't you guys tell me this when I said the first one?
I'm glad she
David.
came
Always
in.
call me, I'm usually.
Who's all down there?
Kathy?
Just-
Yeah.
No, Cheryl.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that was
I've been to the
kind of
place
good timing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Right.
just got tired of doing it.
Lunchtime,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How about that?
yeah.
Well, good.
I mean, she said if the Girl Scouts
Good night,
wanted to do it, it was fine with her, but she was happy to.
Yeah, good. It's nice to have somebody else's ideas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, thanks, Ian. Have a good night. I know when Joyce and Mike lived outside, she'd bring in all that greenery.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta go big,
But that's not her greenery anymore.
big style Carlin steel, yeah. So you got this, I mean, you just have
Yep,
to.
I'll put that up there for Kathy.
I left you a set.
Well, I wondered.
I know. Hey, do your thing.
Oh, you got one of them little jewelry cases from Old Navy?
What?
Is that little case in there, is that?
This?
For, oh, it's your
No,
glasses.
this is my glasses, my
They have
cheaters.
something at Old Navy that looks like that for.
Oh, do they?
For jewelry. I think it's
Oh.
like when you travel. But
No, I bought 3 pair of cheaters, and they're the, I like the case, but the cheaters are so cheap, they don't last.
I know, I always tell Matt, you know, that's what he uses, and mine are expensive.
You ready for the big day, big night?
No. It's great fun this weekend, though. I never heard so many rumors about myself.
Oh, really? Where were you?
At the bar.
At the bar?
At the bar, at the corner tap.
Oh, yeah?
That was all sorts of fun.
Turn those off, I guess.
Really unbelievable.
Well, we didn't long enough, Shirley.